Hello everyone! In this video, I'll explain the Wordly Wise vocabulary words for Lesson 2. I'll tell you what each word means and show you how to use it in a sentence. Let's get started! Our first word is attract, and attract can be used in a few different ways. The first way is as a verb. It means to bring or draw closer. For example, the large red flowers attracted both the hummingbird and me. So in this sentence, there is a flower like this one. And since attract means to bring something closer, it means it has something special that brings the birds close to it. Or in this picture here, the bees. So flowers have nectar that smells sweet, and it attracts bees and other insects to it. We can also use attract as an adjective, but it changes to attractive. Attractive means pleasing to the eye or mind. Basically, that something is beautiful or it looks good. For example, the bakery window filled with pies, cakes, and cookies was so attractive that Jean and I entered the shop. So in this sentence, the word attractive is telling us that this window filled with all of these delicious looking sweets was so amazing or beautiful to our eye. We couldn't resist going inside. So that's why we went inside of the bakery. Just like this picture here, you can see that all of these cakes look so nice and so delicious that I can describe them as being attractive. And we also use this word a lot to talk about people. People who look beautiful can be described as being attractive. And lastly, we can use attract as a noun, and it changes to attraction. An attraction is something that draws attention. For example, one attraction Karen attends every September is the Chowder Festival near the dock. So in this sentence, attraction is talking about some kind of activity that you can visit or interact with. For example, if you go to an amusement park, there are many different kinds of attractions that you can ride, such as a roller coaster. We can also describe a place as an attraction. I can say the zoo is a popular attraction in this city. It's something that makes people go there. It draws or it gets their attention. Our next word is crew. Crew is a noun, and a crew is a group of people working together, especially one that runs an airplane or large vessel. For example, the crew worked quickly to take down the sails on the boat before the storm hit. So you can think of a crew as workers or people who are working together on the same thing. So a crew could be people that are cleaning up a place. For example, I could say the cleanup crew picked up trash after the event. So maybe there was some kind of party or celebration, and then there's a crew of cleaning people that come to clean up. They are called a crew because they're working together. We can also call people who are working on a movie a crew. The crew has to set up the cameras so that they can record the movie. So all of these people here working together are a crew. Of course, we can have a crew of workers on a ship that are working together to sail the boat. Usually, every person on the crew has a different job that they do. And even astronauts can be described as a crew. So the group of astronauts that go together on the same rocket to space, they are called a crew. Our next word is dangle. Dangle is a verb and it means to hang loosely. When something dangles, it means it's hanging down and swinging a little bit because it's not attached all the way. For example, we can say, not yet ready to go into the pool, Ramona and Fernando sat by the edge and dangled their feet in the water. So in this sentence, it's similar to this picture here where there is a group of people that are not ready to go into the water yet. So they're just sitting by the edge and maybe their legs are dangling here in the water. It means they're hanging down, maybe they're swinging or moving around. We can also use dangle in this way to describe something that is hanging from a bag. I can say, the toy dangled from the strap of his backpack. It's just hanging loosely and it's probably swinging around when he is walking. I can even say a spider was dangling from a thin web. So the spider was just hanging down loosely like this and probably moving back and forth. Our next word is drift. Drift can be used as a noun and as a verb. As a noun, drift is a pile of sand or snow created by moving air or water. So you can imagine that there is a snowstorm and it's very windy, and all of that wind is making the snow gather or move into a pile, just like here. You can see there is a pile of snow behind the car, or I can describe it as a drift of snow. The example says, the drifts of snow in the driveway mean that we will all have to help with the shoveling. So because there are these big drifts of snow, we have to move it out of the way if we want to take the car out. And we can also use drift as a verb. This is the most common way of using it, and it means to be carried along by moving air or water. So again, just like before, air or water is pushing something. The example says, Liz climbed onto the rubber raft and let herself drift along the river for a while. So when something is on water, whether it's a boat or a rubber raft or anything else, it often drifts in the water because the water is moving. There are different currents in the water that make it move in different directions. And if something is not tied down, then it can drift. So this boat here, it drifted onto the sand. It means the water eventually pushed it onto the sand. Or it might have drifted out into the ocean if it was not tied down. We can also use this word drift to describe moving clouds. I can say the clouds drifted across the sky because the air is pushing these clouds. Our next word is event. Event is something that happens, especially something important. We often use this word to talk about activities that are planned. For example, the big event of the week for Johnette and Derek was going to see Swan Lake with their aunt. So there was a plan to go see this play with their aunt, and this plan that happened was a big event. It was something that happened and something that was important. It can be big or it can be small. I can say the school talent show is a fun event. It's something that happens, something that is planned. Or I could also say many people came to the sports event. In this picture here, there is a tennis match happening, and many people came to watch this event. And I could also say the party was the best event of the year. Maybe for the birthday boy, this party was the most important or fun thing that happened, so it can be described as an event. Our next word is launch. Launch can be used as a noun or as a verb. As a noun, launch is an open motorboat that is used for short distances. For example, the launch carried our class across the bay to one of the islands for a picnic. So any boat that is open like this one, so it's not closed inside, it's just all open, can be called a launch. And we can also use launch as a verb. and it means to put a boat or vessel in water. For example, Leon and Greta launched the canoe onto the pond and started to paddle towards the other side. So here, the action is launch. So we are putting the boat into the water or anything else. A vessel is anything else that can float on the water, or even something that can go under the water like a submarine. So we are launching it, we are simply putting it into the water. And launch can also mean to get something started. The example says Ms. Pinsky and Mr. Miller launched the cleanup day by giving everyone a pair of thick work gloves and some large plastic bags. So in this sentence here, launched just means that they are starting something. They started the cleanup day. Another example would be the company plans to launch a new game. So they're planning to start a new game. Or if someone starts speaking right away when they're doing a speech, I could say he launched into a speech as soon as he got on the stage. Another way I can use launch is to talk about rockets like this one here. I can say they will launch the rocket into space today. So they are sending it into a new place or kind of getting started. Our next word is opposite. Opposite can be used as an adjective and it means very different from. For example, it is difficult to believe Ruth and Emily are sisters because they are opposite in so many ways. So when two people are very different, we can say that they are opposite. Just like in this picture here. You can see these two sisters. One of them likes to wear comfortable clothes like a jacket and jeans, while the other one loves to dress in pink and wear dresses and many accessories. So you can see that their style is opposite. It's very, very different. And we all know our regular opposite words such as big and small or fat and thin, happy and angry. Of course, we always use opposite in that way to describe things that are different from each other. Another way we can use it is to say facing or moving away from each other. So for example, after they got off the bus, Jorge and Janelle said goodbye and walked off in opposite directions. So in this sentence, the two friends got off a bus and then one friend went this way and the other friend went that way. So they were going in opposite directions. I could also say she sat opposite from her friends on the train. They are on the other side. Our next word is reverse. Reverse can be used as a verb and it means to go backward or in the direction one just came from. For example, we laughed when Daniel suddenly reversed direction by walking backwards. So there was a boy named Daniel who was walking one way, but then suddenly he reversed his direction. So he went now the other way and walked backwards. So anytime that something is going backwards or in the direction they just came from, we can use this word reverse to explain their movement. I can say the car reversed into this concrete pillar, probably by accident. The driver accidentally started going in the opposite direction that they wanted to go. They went in reversed instead of going forward. And reverse can also be used as an adjective meaning back to front. For example, one side of this coin shows a head and the reverse side shows a building. This meaning of reverse is often used with coins, paper, cards, signs, and metals. You will hear it together with the word side a lot too. So usually there is one side of something, like here is the head of a coin, and then The other side, I can describe it as the reverse side. So this coin has a head on the front and an eagle on the reverse side. Another example would be a postcard like this one here. Usually a postcard will have pictures on one side, and then the reverse side will have a message that you wrote to someone. So that is how we can use this word reverse as an adjective. Our next word is signal. Signal can be used as a noun to mean an object, action, or sound that gives a message or warning. For example, seeing the flashing red signal, Antonio told his brother that they had to wait to cross the street. So we often refer to this here as a signal. When we're crossing the street, we need to wait for the signal to turn green before we can cross. And this one too is called a traffic signal. And cars look at this traffic signal to know whether they can go or if they have to stop. But a signal is also something that can give you a message or a warning. So think about an ambulance. When you hear the sirens of an ambulance, it is a signal. It's a warning that you need to stop or slow down so that the ambulance can go by. And we can also use it as a verb, so now it's an action, and it means to do something that gives a message or a warning. So the meaning is the same, we're just changing it from a noun to a verb. For example, Jeff signaled, here's the action, signaled, the start of the race by dropping a white handkerchief. So imagine that there was a race and the racers are getting ready to start, but they need to wait for the signal, the noun, the signal is the handkerchief. But now the action that signals the racers that they can go is when Jeff drops that white handkerchief. Another example would be a baby rubbing his eyes. That is a signal that they are sleepy. So I can say, the child signaled that he was sleepy by rubbing his eyes. Our final word is steer. Steer can be used as a noun to mean a young bull. And a bull is just a male cow or a boy cow. The example sentence says, the herd of thirsty steers gathered near the stream. So this is what a steer looks like. It's just a young bull. And we can also use steer as a verb. This is the most common way of using it. And it means to guide the direction of. For example, Bonnie carefully steered her bicycle around the rocks. So when you are moving something to go in the direction that you want it to go, that is steering. And we can steer any kind of vehicle such as a car, a motorcycle, a bicycle, even a boat. And here in this video, you can see that the car is steering itself. So there's a new technology now in cars that allow them to drive on their own. So this car is steering by itself. In this picture here, you can see that the person driving the motorcycle is carefully steering around these orange cones. So they are guiding or moving the motorcycle in the direction that they want it to go. And that's all for this video. We went over the Wordly Wise Lesson 2 words. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye!